All right, fellas, welcome back. Hope everybody has had a good week. I know it's been a cold daggone past few days here. I think we got some warmer weather maybe coming in tomorrow and Sunday, maybe 53 on Sunday. So that's good. It's been a man, it's been a cold one here. All right, fellas, let's get into this. I got some Christmas cards in the mail this week, and the first one I got was from Paul over at Styrene Relics. Cool card, man, Paul. I appreciate you thinking of me and to send me a card, man. That's cool. It's got that red Chevy on the front with a tree in the back and a wreath on the grill, man. That's a cool card, Paul. Man, I appreciate the card, and I can't remember. I've sent out 15 or 20 Christmas cards this week. Shoo, fellers, let me say this. My cards is nowhere near as cool as what I have gotten here. Last week I showed one from Dustin over at Lamb Chop Builds, and man, I got one in from Paul over at Styrene Relics. Paul, man, I appreciate you so daggone much for thinking of me and sending me a Christmas card. That is so cool, man. I appreciate you, feller. All right. And if you're at what I was going to say is I've sent out 15 or 20 this week, and I run out of stamps, so I got a couple books of stamps. Daggone, man, that was right at $30 for stamps. So anyway, I got a couple more books of stamps, and so tomorrow morning, what's left on my list, which is everybody I've sent a shop card to, man. Uh, I'm gonna tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get as many as I can done. I hope I can get the rest of them done and get them in the mailbox before the mailman gets here. So anyway, I'm wanting to say I've sent Paul his already, but maybe not. But anyway, man, you'll be getting one in the mail from me, and I appreciate the card and the words on the inside, Paul. Thank you so much. All right, fellas, let's move on here. Next up is I got a card in from Ed over at ELH Scale Model Garage. Cool. Again, a cool card, man. And again, it's got that red Chevy on it, man. That's a popular daggone truck on these cards, man. I've been seeing it a lot. And again, man, my cards ain't nowhere near that cool. They're just kind of traditional old Christmas cards. But hey, fellers, it's the thought that counts, right? Ed, man, thank you for the Christmas card. I appreciate you so daggone much, man. And yours will be in the mail if it ain't already. I can't remember who all I have sent them to, but anyway, Ed over at ELH Scale Model Garage, thank you so daggone much for thinking of me and sending me a Christmas card, man. That means a lot to me. You have no idea, man. And again, I appreciate the kind words you put on the inside of the card, man. I appreciate you so daggone much. And I appreciate you and Paul over at Styrene Relics channels, man, and what you share with everybody. So we're going to move Ed out of the way. Again, Ed, man, thank you so daggone much, feller. I really appreciate it. And it's going to go in the living room with the rest of the Christmas cards. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Can't say it enough. All right, fellers. Next up is today when I come in from work, I got those two cards earlier back in the week, and today I hadn't got nothing else. And today, when I come in from work, I had an envelope laying there, and I had done walked past the table, and the wife was standing there. I said, "Is that for me?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Who's it from? What's it say?" She said, "Well, I think it's from Daytona." And I thought a minute, Daytona. I don't think I've sent anybody a card or anything that would have my address. And I said, "Is it Daytona?" And she said, "Well, yeah, it is." And I thought, "Oh man." So I opened it up, and man, daggone, today a Christmas card come in from Old Tom Rambler 69. Man, Tom, I appreciate you so daggone much, and that is such a cool daggone Christmas card. And I didn't really notice nothing until I put my glasses on, and then the wife said, "Oh, that's Santa Claus driving the one of them, and Rudolph driving the other." And so I held it up underneath this brand new light that I got. Man, I hope my video doesn't go in and out, focusing or whatever. But anyway, I held it up under that where I could see through that magnifying glass. And hell, it's Santa Claus driving the 32 right there. And it's Rudolph driving the, I don't know, 33, 34 by the grill. And then back here in the back, at first I thought it was a daggone mouse driving the cop car. And I looked again under that magnifier, and it's an elf. He's got elf ears, man. He's a cop, and he's chasing Santa Claus and Rudolph. Cool card, man. Tom, thank you so daggone much for the Christmas card. You too, man. I appreciate you so daggone much for thinking of me to send me a card, man. That means so daggone much. And if I ain't mistaken, you was one of the first ones on my list because hell, you was the first person I made one of my shop cards out to. So yours did go in the mail. I seen today on one of your videos you had gotten it in. And Tom, man, I appreciate the daggone Christmas card. That means so daggone much. You're going in the living room with all of our others, and not only did he send me a shop a shop card, Christmas card, man, he sent me one of these other shop cards of his. I've got one. It's got a 32 on it and a funny car. I don't know. You might be able to see him right here and right here. Uh, anyway, he sent me one of his other shop cards, man. Tom, I appreciate you so daggone much, man. You've helped me so much. You've helped my channel so much, as well as a whole lot of other people, man. I see that you are the one that really helps people starting out with a model car YouTube channel, man. You Tom, I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Paul at Styrene Relics and Ed at ELH Scale Model Garage, I wish y'all the best Christmas and the happiest of New Year's. All right, let's get Tom out of the way here. And I'm going to, oops, wait a minute, I almost forgot. If anybody wants one of my shop cards, and since it's a season, you'll get a daggone Christmas card from me too, man. If anybody wants one of my shop cards, give me an email. Shoot me an email right there at hotrodsmodelshop@gmail.com. Hot Rods with a Z. I hadn't said that in a while, I don't think. Anyway, man, I'd love to send these out to you, and that's what I got them for, fellers. So let's get that out of the way. And Tom, man, again, thank you for the card. Paul, Styrene Relics, thank you for the card. And Ed at ELH Scale Model Garage, thank you for the Christmas cards, man. That means a lot. I never get Christmas cards. All right, now if everything goes right, I'm gonna pause you and then I'm gonna come back and man, I hope I don't do this wrong. Hang on, fellas, we'll be right back. All right, fellas, if I've done this right, I'm recording again. I'm hoping. Golly, I'm hoping. If not, I'll try to do this over. Anyway, fellas, we got our little 29 Ford Roadster done, the Reveal kit. Let's see. I can't get the box in here. I don't even know where the box is at. Here, let me set it back here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the kit that we went with right here on this little build. And man, this is such a cool daggone kit to build. It goes together good. Uh, I thought I had a problem, I thought I was the problem. I thought it had a problem, and turns out it was not a problem with the kit. It was a problem with me. I couldn't see. So anyway, fellas, we got this little rascal wrapped up this week, and I, man, I feel like it looks pretty decent for me anyway. Hell, y'all have seen some of my builds. Anyway, I'm gonna spin him around here and kind of show him to you. We and if I can think about it, man, I'm gonna tell you about it. I seem to forget that stuff. Our headers was chrome, I do believe. We stripped the chrome and we went with white, and we also dug out the I guess it was just flash or something between the two header tubes on each side. You can't really see it probably, but we did that to make our headers look a little bit better, cleaner, and we went with white headers on it. I like white headers, fellers. All right, we did not use the blower motor on it. We used the 3 carb setup, which is cool, man. I like that. And let's see here. We got our headlights in. Our headlights buckets, man. Let me see if I can show you. When I pick it up here, I'll show you better. But anyway, the headlight buckets, where they attached to the tree was right dead on top of the daggone headlights, man. I don't. Anyway, I didn't like it. I couldn't make it look right. I touched it up with a Molotov pen, and it just didn't look right. So I did that on top of my windshield where it attaches to the tree instead of the bottom. They attach it at the top. Makes no sense, but it is what it is. And I don't know if you can see or not, but you can tell where I touched it with the Molotov pen, Molotov, whatever, fella, the chrome pen. All right. Uh, so anyway, we stripped the chrome off the headlight buckets and we painted them gloss black. And I kind of like the way it looks, man. I wish I could have kept the chrome, but that wasn't going to happen. And I can't really, I got no way of spraying chrome or whatever. So anyway, fellers, we painted our headlight buckets gloss black. I was really struggling with my headlight buckets due to the way they was fastened. So anyway, I hope we got the daggone headlights in kind of straight and even. I guess I'll see it in this video when I want to watch it. I need to watch this one tonight too because that last week, man, it was focusing in and out, and hell far it made me sick Saturday morning trying to watch it. Anyway, fellers, I'm gonna spin him around here for you. We just really finished him up last night. We got our door handles on and our headlights. We got them jewels on there. Uh, I was really worried about the headlights. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. This kit comes with upper and lower radiator hoses. And man, I had the radiator hose, I had him trimmed down and filed down to where he fit in there just perfect. And I had him in my tweezers and I was about to put him on, and that thing went flying. I heard it hit a couple different things over there in front of me off to the side. That's where it sounded like. I have looked and looked and looked. I could not find my daggone bottom hose. So that kit comes with like 6 or 8 uh, hoses, top and bottom, 3 or 4 bottom hoses. And man, I could not make any of the others fit up in there right. And so it does not have a bottom hose. So when we get to that and you see that, I'm sorry. If I ever find it, I'll put it in there because, man, it fit in there so perfect and I lost it out of my tweezers. Now, with that being said, these door hinges, this door hinge on the passenger door, man, I didn't have no problem. I nipped it from the tree and got him mounted, no problem at all. And when I got over to the driver's side, if I dropped that little bitty thing once, I dropped it 5 times. I ain't exaggerating. I dropped it 5 times right here in front of me. And again, thanks to that new light that I bought that you can move around and got the magnifier and the light around the magnifier, man, I found it all 5 times. Unbelievable. I couldn't find my daggone bottom hose, which is what, 4, 5, 6 times, 7 times bigger than that little rascal. I found him and I couldn't find my hose, but he went flying across the room. So anyway, fellers, man, I am dragging this out. I apologize, fellers. Let's see here. we got our steering wheel on last night. Nope, night before we had to do that. But last night we wrapped him up, and man, I'm so happy this little feller turned out pretty decent for me anyway. Uh, I'm tickled to death with it, and man, I hope y'all like it. Y'all can let me know down in the comments. Does it suck or does it look pretty decent? Hell, I would drive my wife to town to get an ice cream in it. Sure would. Ain't got no plug wires or any other cables, but I would take her in it. All right, fellers. Let's see here. I was fixing to tell you something here before I flipped him upside down. Oh, my top radiator hose. I got me some testers rubber paint, and I brushed it on the top hose. And at first I didn't like it. It kind of looked brown, but now that I guess it's set up or whatever, it's dried. I like the look of that rubber on your hoses, and I didn't do it on the belt, but anyway, hell, that thing's too little. I can't see it. Maybe I can now with my new light. But anyway, fellers, that's what we got now. I'm gonna attempt to flip him upside down here and show you the bottom side. But first, I remember what I was gonna say. My flocking, my carpet. I showed y'all the first time I did it, man, it was kind of splotchy and it didn't look good at all. So I went back and redid it, and I'm gonna attempt to do this and try to show you. Man, it looks so daggone good, but man, I hope you can see it, fellers. Let me raise him up here, and I got a little bitty light that maybe I can shine in here, and you can see the carpet. Daggone, fellers, to me it looks good. That's the first time I've ever. There we go. You can see it now, maybe a little bit. First time I ever did anything like that, and I really like the way it turned out. And we're gonna do it again. Let's see here, fellers. If you notice when I had that light on it, you seen how shiny the seats was. I'm gonna have to get me some of that dull coat. I think I've seen some of you guys talk about a dull coat to kind of dull down the really shiny stuffs. But right now, I'm gonna say he really heavy armor all that seat. When he turns a corner to the left, he's probably gonna go sliding across to the passenger side. But anyway, fellers, that's what we got on our 29 Roadster. We wrapped him up. If I find the bottom hose, I'm gonna get it on there. So now let's flip this little jewel upside down and show you what we got on the bottom side. Man, I build kind of box stock, other than sometimes I used to. I'd get into my parts. When I didn't have no money for a kit, I would get into my parts box and just kind of come up with a bunch of junk, really. But anyway, we got the bottom side of this little feller done, and it looks pretty daggone decent, man. We got the exhaust from the headers all the way back, and got our tailpipe, the tips on it. Let's see here. Our drive shaft is in it, painted safety white, of course. And let me see if I can show. Oh, yep, there you go. The drive shaft spins. So I said in one of those videos, man, I was gonna have to scoot the motor backwards. Y'all don't do that. Just get a daggone light with a magnifier, get a magnifying glass, and you can see that the engine block does have little indentions for it to set on the mounts on the frame. But anyway, fellers, looks pretty decent, man. Went with a flat black on the floor pan, and then the frame, and I'm gonna call them ladder bars, man. To me, it's what they are, ladder bars. I went with gloss black on them, and the rear end. On the front end, man, I stripped my chrome on the radius arms, I think is what they're called. The front drop axle, I stripped the chrome on it and redid it with like a cheap spray chrome that I got at, hell, I think it come from dollar store spray chrome. I think they call it a metallizer or something. But anyway, fellers, it works for me. It's see if I can. Hell, it works for me, man. I ain't giving no damn $35, $40 for a little can of Reveal. So, and to me, what I've seen on a lot of the videos, hell, it don't look much different. So, there's that, man. I try to do stuff on the cheap. All right, let's see here, man. I don't know. I think I have covered everything. I hope I have, anyway. Uh, but yeah, fellas, y'all let me know what you think about this little jewel. Is it okay? Did I totally ruin a model kit? I hope I didn't. I like it, man. It looks good to me. It's set out here for a few days, few weeks maybe, and to be honest with you, man, it'll get put back in that box right there and set to the side. I'll put a piece of tape on it that write on it finished, so I know what's in there. So anyway, fellas, that's what we've done this week. We finally wrapped him up, and now that we got that little jewel done, let's see. I'm gonna do this without pausing it because I don't even know if looks like I'm recording. Let me move this thing, my little spinny thing, fellers. I got that when I got my light. I like that little rascal. All right, let me move that jewel, and if you can maybe see, let me put this up here. I don't want to block up the build in the back. Let's see here. All right, this week on our Weekend Warrior group build, this is absolutely not an update. After I got this little rascal done through the week, waiting on stuff to dry and all that junk, I got some of my parts out for my Weekend Warrior group build, which is a low budget, $10,000 budget bracket car, being hosted by Dean over at Bench Racing Garage. I kind of cleaned up a bunch of parts, man. Let's see here. Let's get him setting up here. I cleaned up the bunch of the man. I can't never remember what y'all say it is, but like there was a mold. I'm gonna call it a mold, not mold, a mold line that went down through here on each side. I cleaned all that up, and it seemed like there was something in the back. I cleaned that up and got my seat ready to go. I got my radiator and shroud sanded up and cleaned up. They're ready to get some paint on them if the weather breaks this weekend. Oh, we got our rack and pinion unit. He's all cleaned up. Got the mold line out of it. Got everything cleaned up on him. And we got our tubular front K member. Got him cleaned up and he's ready for some paint and our rear end assembly. This thing, if you man, this is 5 different pieces right here. You got this part with these lower arms molded to it, made to it, whatever. Then this center section with the upper arms is another part. What did I say? 5 parts? I apologize. It ain't that many parts. But anyway, this up here is a separate part. And then the rear end cover is a separate part. So what is that? Three parts. But anyway, I got it. I got it assembled and it fits the chassis real good. I'm not going to put my rear end cover on it because it's going to be an aluminum-y looking color. Best I can do anyway. And the rest of the rear end assembly will be a gloss black. I had thought about doing my upper and lower arms in like a red, but I think they'd just be gloss black, fellers. All right, so that's about all we've gotten done this week, man. We put our wheels and tires together so we could kind of set him back there in the background. Oh man, I can't get my stuff situated. All right, we got him kind of setting on wheels and tires. They're just shoved up in the wheel wells, man. I wish I could get that rascal sitting down there looking like that low right there. But anyway, again, that's not an update, man. That's just what I've been fooling with while I've been waiting on some of this stuff to dry and whatnot. So anyway, fellers, that's all we got for you tonight. And again, I'm going to try my best to get all those daggone Christmas cards filled out in the morning and in the mail. Man, daggone, it gets pretty daggone tough doing all that writing. But anyway, fellers, I appreciate y'all. I can't say it enough, man. If you stopped in here to see what I'm doing or one of my videos, man, that is so daggone cool, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And fellas, so we're gonna get out of here. I don't think I've got anything else going on, so we're gonna set him to the side and get fooling with this tomorrow after we hopefully after we fill out all those Christmas card envelopes and Christmas cards and get them rascals in the mail. We're going to get back on this jewel and try to get some more parts cleaned up and hopefully get something painted. Not the body, probably. Get some of these parts painted this coming Sunday, man. While I think it's supposed to be 53 is in the forecast. So, man, I pray and hope and all that I can really pull it off without ruining that stuff and having to put it in stripper. So, fellers, everybody have a daggone good weekend, man. A good, safe weekend. And fellers, I can't say it enough. I appreciate you checking us out, and hell, if you're sub to us, I appreciate that. Man, it means everything, and appreciate your comments. If you leave one, if you don't, man, that's fine too, man. Hey, fellers, we're going to get out of here, and we'll catch all y'all on the next one. And, fellers, I appreciate you, and y'all have a good one. We'll catch you, fellers.